Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Educated Cold Snap channel. How you doing? So we've got an OTA patch discussion today. They released one. This one's pretty cool. There's definitely a lot of things I think will help with the metagame. So let's get right into it. I'm going to try to be quick with this one. We're going to be faster than normally do. We'll see how that goes. So let's get started. First thing off, we do have Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel's been a very it used to be strong. They buffed it to 4-5, but that was like before the meta of Miss Marvel, where I would say the power level of 4 drops really increased, but it was pretty strong during its heyday. They nerfed it to a 4-4 because it was too problematic. Now I do think it won't be as much of a problem. So I think this is a healthy change probably for the card to make it actually see some play, be an option. It helps you win the game. Used to be exciting, so I'm down with this change. I think this is pretty cool. So happy to see this. Maybe we see more Marvel in the game. Next up, we do have Apocalypse. So this card has actually jumped up in play rate and win rate ever since Corvus has been released. I think Corvus and Proxima really helped the deck to be a sizable difference. It used to be Black Knight being the main engine. Now you can just play normal discard and it's pretty good. Just being able to play like Dracula last turn and like have it pull out 20 plus power is just really strong. So this card's been strong. They seem to agree, so they're nerfing it by 2 power. This does mean you have to be playing Apocalypse in a dedicated discard deck, which most people are already doing. So this is just a 2 power swing, but you were getting like 20 plus power Apocalypse anyway, so I don't think this is going to be too big of a change, but it might lower the expectations, and it means if you are unlucky with your draws and discard, you're gonna feel it. So this is definitely a big change, but I think it's fine, and discard has been pretty strong in the meta, so I'm kind of okay with a change like this. So next up, I think, is one of my more interesting changes, more excited at least for me, so because I'm not a Thanos player. Mind Stone is getting bad. No, it's not getting bad, but it's getting like significantly changed into going to a 2 cost. So Thanos, we talk about, is always a problem. Everyone's always like complaining Thanos. Every meta Thanos. This might help in the best games of Thanos are playing Mind Stone on 1, right? Like that's a snappable situation. Playing Mind Stone on 1 snap is that good that people do that. So changing Mind Stone itself might just make the high rolls less impactful. I still think like the Mockingbird synergy is still a problem. So I don't know if this like solves the whole Thanos metagame thing, but it's a notable nerf. It's a notable. You're gonna notice this for sure. So I do think Thanos players are crying a little bit more, but they've been happy forever. Like Galactus players, and Kang, lovers, right? They've been crying nonstop. So, I think I'm okay with a Thanos nerf of this kind. So, this is definitely going to feel good or bad depending if you're a big Thanos player or not. But I still think Thanos is still going to be strong. Like, yeah, you're nerfing 1 card, but a lot of decks, a lot of games you don't draw this and you're still doing fine. So still think Thanos is going to be good, but the consistency is going to drop off a little bit. But I'm okay with that. I think Thanos is always a problem, and they're always trying to find ways to to deal with this. So maybe this might help. But yeah, overall, happy with it. I'm biased. I don't really play Thanos too much, so maybe other Thanos players have tried. Maybe they won't like it, but I think it's okay. Next up, we have the Cyclops or Psylock also getting nerfed. So this one also is a Thanos nerf because I don't see any other decks playing Psylock. There used to be like some weird things you could play in like Sarah, stuff like that, but nowadays you don't see any of that. So it's also losing a power. I'm surprised. I wouldn't say Psylock is a problem in decks or in Thanos. Like that's not the problem. Mockingbird is, right, obviously, but they're not nerfing Mockingbird because it's a new card, blah 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 blah. But I surprised they did say that Psylock is among the strongest cards in the deck. So apparently playing Psylock and having Psylock in your deck does make your Thanos deck better, which I wasn't like super sure about. I was kind of personally thinking that was kind of a bait, but it seems to be just being able to ramp, play your Nova early, play your Professor X early is just really powerful. So this gives you consistency, and you don't have Time Stone to guarantee it anymore. So kind of an interesting change to see Psylocke being nerfed. And it only hits Thanos right now, so this isn't like too big of a nerf. It just shows how strong gaining energy is, right? Like Hope Summers, all the problematic cards are just energy gainers, and Psylock being one of them. So yeah, generally strong. Nerfing another nerf to Thanos. This doesn't really seem like the biggest nerf compared to Time Stone, but it should do something since a lot of Thanos decks do run Psylocks. I don't think you need to, so I'm sure they will adjust, kind of like Lockjaw, right? People will adjust. I feel like that's going to happen here, but it's just still interesting to see this taking a hit here. Next up, we have Adam Warlock. So people were complaining, and I understand that complaint because the card is unplayable as 2-0, and then they made it a 5-4, and then it's still basically unplayable. Honestly, I don't see any Adam Warlock at all. So they're trying to be safe. It is interesting that Hope Summers is out, right? So energy is more freely available. So maybe they were just worried that maybe people would find a way to get the super early out, and Pixie as well, right? Super early out might be a problem. So maybe that's why they're being scared. But yeah, 5-4 really not engaging. Like that's a 3-cost power, time kind of thing. So they're roughing it by 1. They're still considering. They did say like 5-6 is in the table on the cards. If this still sucks or people still don't play it, they might want to play it. I'm happy with them like trying to buff underplayed cards. I feel like they don't do it enough. So I'm happy to see them try. Obviously, they don't want to buff a card where it's probably like better than any new card you could get, and you're just like, why would I? This is just way better. But it is nice to see them at least think about it, and I hope they do more of this. So even if it's slow, as long as it's gradual and they keep targeting the weakest cards in the game, then you'll have like more options to play, which I think is healthy. So they did say they're interested in Cerebral 5, which I don't believe. I'm not a believer, guys. I mean, there is Doctor Doom, right? This is like the best Cerebral 5 payoff, but still, I don't know. You could just play you could play a lot of things. Anyways, it is interesting. We'll see what this does. Don't believe in the Cerebral 5, but it might be better. I don't know if 1 power for Adam Warlock is enough, but it might be, so maybe there'll be some people trying that out for sure. And then the last set of buffs we have is the Guardians of the Galaxy buffs. So they are basically buffing or reworking all the Guardians of the Galaxies to be better. So the other one that doesn't change in terms of how much power you get, I believe, is Gamora. Gamora, you're getting 12 still, but they did buff her base, which I think is a good way of doing it, where her base is now 5'8 instead of 5'7. And every other card, you're getting a power increase. And they've also made everything the same. They've set it up where every time you play any of these buffs, it's +4 power. So because of that, Rocket Raccoon is the only one that loses power, I think, on the... Groot also loses power. So these cards lost some power, but you make it up +4. So Rocket Raccoon can be a 1-5. Groot is a 3-7. Star-Lord is a 2-6. Drax is a 4-9. And then Gamora is a 5-12, which is still pretty good. So I think this helps Guardians of the Galaxies. This is a set of cards I've wanted to be buffed. I've actually asked them, hey, can you buff these cards? And they're like, yeah. But looks like they're finally doing it. So nice to see. Maybe we'll see some more Guardian of the Galaxies. Gamora already sees play, but the others don't see as much play. Star-Lord kind of sees play. I guess those two are really... So maybe we'll see more Drax. Maybe we'll see more Groot. Drax has been like notoriously bad, so happy to see this getting a buff. So definitely think this is healthy, and I'm pretty happy with these changes. When we look at these changes overall, right? Happy with the Guardian of the Galaxy. Okay with Adam Warlock. I don't know if this is going to do that much, but I'm happy with it. Psylock, I think, is a nerf to Thanos. I'm happy with that direction. Mind Stone, nerf to Thanos. I'm happy with the direction. Apocalypse, nerf to Discard. Discard is proving to be good, so I understand this one. This one I'm more indifferent about, but I think if you play into a lot of Discard, you'll probably be happy. And then Captain Marvel, I think, is also in the right direction. So I think this is just a pretty good OTA. They're targeting a lot of things, especially the two most problematic archetypes, which is Discard and Thanos. They're targeting those, so that's good understanding of the meta there, and just seems strong. So overall, that's my thoughts on OTA. What are your thoughts? Do you like it? Not? Let me know your comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Wee, that was fast.
You won't go back. He'll teach you to marvel snap. Your skills will be